Look, I mean, I think that honestly, this is an underwhelming budget. It's one where a number of things have disappointed us. You mentioned fiscal deficit, and indeed it's good there's been enough discipline that we can go down from 4.5 to 4.4 and look forward to 4.3. But I've been in Parliament long enough to remember the finance minister's predecessor, the late Arun Jaitley, announcing a fiscal deficit of 3.5% as his target. We are far from that, and we're applauding a much higher number today. So one must see things in perspective. You know, it's all very well speaking about things like continuity, stability, fiscal discipline, and so on. But what I think about is the Aam Aadmi in this country. Is there enough money in his pocket? Very clearly not. You're seeing a dramatic increase in credit card debt every day. If you're looking at jobs, unemployment has been continuing to bother people, particularly the employed in the educated sector. And there are so many anecdotes of positions being advertised in the railways, a peon position, a head constable position in the police, whatever, and you get over 1,000 applications per post. And these are not just the 8th standard or 10th standard qualification that's required for the job. These are college graduates and PhDs because they have no adequate employment. And that's something the government has not addressed specifically in this budget. And then there are other larger questions which, there's so much. In fact, I've been giving interviews all day to various channels on various aspects that trouble me. But one thing that I will say as an MP from Kerala is my profound disappointment that even in an election year, the BJP did not see fit, the government did not see fit to give my state what its fair share. There are some schemes that have been announced. Rare earths is something I have advocated. I have published articles requiring that we do serious efforts to become self-sufficient in rare earths. There are precious sands in Kerala that could be mined, but this is a 15-year project. Mining rare earths, creating the infrastructure, and then processing and refining my rare earths is a very long-term, high investment requiring activity. We're 15 years away from seeing the fruits of that. In the meantime, our dependence continues. If you look at the other areas for Kerala that there's a mention of a turtle trail. I'm not sure that's going to make a lot of people terribly excited unless they love turtles. God bless them. But there are other needs. There's a reference to coconuts and cashews, and I'm assuming we'll be a beneficiary. But Kerala was not mentioned either in the speech or in the budget document. But since we are the biggest producer of both coconuts and cashews, I'm expecting that we will be a beneficiary. Similarly, there are some interesting areas that I would like to see Kerala benefiting from, but Kerala was not specifically mentioned. Inland waterways. We've had an announcement of ship repair in Patna and Varanasi, but Kerala has more inland waterways than any other Indian state, and there's been no mention of Kerala. Why could we not have such ship repair facilities for inland waterways in Kerala? Port development. We have the magnificent Vizhinjam port in my constituency, which is the biggest container terminal in India, where the largest ships in the world are able to dock. No mention of any support for it. It needs better connectivity into the hinterland, road, rail connectivity. No support from the centre was announced for that, whereas a package would have done some good. So aims, we've been promised an aims in the very first NDA budget 12 years ago. It still has not become reality. No mention of it again. There was a mention of creating some All India Institutes of Ayurveda. Kerala is the obvious place to park one. I've been demanding an Ayurveda university in Kerala, in Thiruvananthapuram, for many, many years, letter after letter to various ministers. The truth of the matter is, there was only one place mentioned, that was the Ayurveda Center in Jamnagar. There was no mention made of Kerala, and we ought to have an Ayurveda university or center in Kerala. Many other things we might benefit from. Biopharma was talked about. We have a tremendous record in the healthcare sector. We might be able to do that. We've got things like urban centers, urban clusters being talked about. Kerala is a very urbanized state, lots of cities and towns. But we have not been told that we're going to get anything out of that, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, I feel that now the new hashtag for my state has to be Invisible Kerala. We send the largest remittances of any Indian state. We do we produce lots of skilled and educated labor for the entire country. We bring foreign exchange to this country. We attract tourists to the country. But when it comes to the budget, it's Invisible Kerala. That's a real concern I have. Other things, we see ideas like having a new cadre of healthcare caregivers. But, they have an existing cadre of ASHA workers who are treated abominably. There are 30,000 of them in my state. There are 10 lakh around the country. You know what they get? They get 2,000 to 4,000 rupees a month as an honorarium. They don't even get a proper salary. Many of them work 18-hour days. They may have occasional extra money coming from task-related incentives, but very few and very irregular. They have no minimum wage, no salary, no pension, no job security. And now we're creating a new cadre of caregivers when the existing ones we can't take care of. And the final point I want to say about the budget is that too many promises have been underwhelming in recent years for other reasons, that a sum is announced, the actual allocations are less, and the expenditure is even less. I can give you example after example. I've got sheets of paper in front of me if you're really interested. Smart cities are one example. You announce something, project implementation is very low, dispersal of funds is very low. If you look at almost any particular activity, the implementation does not match the rhetoric. I'd love the government to explain why. Maybe what they have omitted to do is put the word Kerala in all these big ticket items they announced. If they do that, maybe we'll be happy. Well, I think the reading is very clear. Last year they had announced 100 crores for the Shah Bahar port in the budget estimates. Then that went up to 400 crores in the revised estimates. And this year's budget is zero, which looks like we're giving up on the port in the view of the current geopolitical situation, with the squeeze on Iran, the increasing sanctions from the Western countries, and the demand that we not cooperate with Iran. It's a very valuable relationship we've had for a long time, but it looks like we appear to be abandoning the idea of spending any money on that port. It may be true that there are practical obstacles. If everything is sanctioned, how do you spend money? And what happens to those who do go there? Because those companies that are active in Shah Bahar then will be sanctioned by the West as well. Even Indian companies will be sanctioned. So that may be the reason. But it does look like it's a surrender to a particular policy that has been imposed from the outside on Iran. The very fact that there is no money in the budget suggests that.